Not all that glitters is really gold. Amanda almost lost her life after meeting David online. This is what happened. David lives in the city of Abuja. He was a nice and generous man who helped his family and his community by giving donations. He was known throughout his neighborhood as a cheerful giver, but behind his friendly face lay a dark and sinister secret. He had different phones in which he chatted with different girls online. He would promise them love and money and then invite them over to his house. When they visited him, he would offer them drinks that were spiked. When they dozed off, he would take advantage of them and then kill them. David was involved in organ trafficking. He tricked girls into coming to his house. He would kill them and sell their body parts to make money. He targeted young girls who were easily swayed by money and material things. One day, he met a young girl named Amanda online. Amanda was an undergraduate studying mass communication in the university. She came from a good Christian home. She wasn't easily swayed by money and was very particular in choosing who she could be friends with based on how she was brought up. David tried to get her to come visit him in his house, but Amanda refused. She didn't fall for his sweet words. David couldn't deliver an order he had received because Amanda didn't come over as he had expected, and he lost a lot of money. This made him furious. No girl has ever refused me before, but this girl Amanda did. Now I'm obsessed. I will make sure to get her by all means possible and inflict on her a more painful death. She is going to wish she never refused me, he vowed. Since he wasn't able to deliver his last order, he decided it was better to get more girls available so it would be easier for him. David kept more than 30 girls in his boys' quarters, so anytime he got orders, he would eliminate one or two depending on the quantity needed. Whenever he visited his community, he would share money with people and some foodstuffs with women. This came to the attention of a pregnant woman who had been abandoned by her husband. She needed help, so when she heard that David was helping some people, she went to him for help. He promised to help her on the condition that she would follow him to the city. She agreed since she had no other option, but when they got to the city, David tied her up and threw her in the boys' quarters where the other girls were. The pregnant woman was always crying and making noise, which made David angry. He decided to kill her first. In her final moments, she cursed David, saying that he would pay for all his crimes one day. David ignored her and killed her right there. The other girls, seeing this, trembled with fear. Realizing the danger they were in, David cut out the parts of the pregnant woman's body and divided them for his clients. David decided that his next target would be Amanda. Since she made him lose so much money, he said to himself, I will pretend to love her and make sure to lure her to my house. I will make sure she begs for her life and finally send her to hell, he said, laughing maniacally. David called Amanda on the phone and requested they meet up at least to get to know each other. Amanda agreed and asked him to meet her at her school. David agreed and drove to her school. When he got there, he called Amanda and asked her to meet him in a hotel. But Amanda refused and said she wanted to meet in an open place. She sent David an address. They met in a nice, cozy restaurant. David looked at her and smiled. Wow, you look so pretty and have such a nice shape. Amanda smiled and thanked him for the compliments. David thought to himself, I would have taken you as my girlfriend, but you made me so angry. I have killed a lot of girls like you, even more beautiful ones. But not to worry, you will soon join them. Amanda was accompanied by her two friends. Since she was meeting David for the first time after months of texting online, she didn't want to go alone. They engaged in lively conversations, getting to know each other. When they were about to leave, David gave Amanda's friends a large sum of money and offered Amanda some, but she refused. She scolded her friends for accepting money from David. One of Amanda's friends, Clara, encouraged Amanda to accept David because he seemed generous and kind. But Amanda refused. "You know it's hard to find a handsome and wealthy man these days," Clara said, feeling frustrated. "You are missing out." Despite what Clara said, Amanda stood firm on her decision. David kept wooing Amanda, showering her with gifts and money, but Amanda didn't accept any of it. David told her that all he was doing for her was purely out of love. He pleaded with her to give him a chance and promised she wouldn't regret it. David even attempted to win over Amanda's friends with money and begged them to help him win Amanda over. Eventually, Amanda agreed to date David. She also agreed to visit him at his house. She asked David for his home address, but David refused, saying she wouldn't be able to find it. Instead, he offered to pick her up when she arrived in the city. Amanda told her friends about her visit and shared David's phone number in case of an emergency. She then set out for David's city. When she got to the park, she called David and informed him. David told her to wait for some minutes as he was coming to pick her up. However, after their conversation, Amanda received a call from her mom, who told her that her younger sister was involved in an accident near her school. Without wasting any time, Amanda boarded a bus to her sister's school. She tried calling David to inform him about the recent development, but he kept ignoring her calls. David later called her back but was angry when he learned that Amanda could no longer make it. Amanda explained the situation at hand to him, which he eventually understood. He expressed his love for her before ending the call. Amanda stayed with her sister until she recovered and then returned to school. David continued his crimes, not caring a bit for human life. David kept insisting on meeting Amanda, and she eventually agreed, promising to spend quality time with him. David hadn't spent so much time trying to woo a lady before, but Amanda was making it difficult. This made him angry, but he was determined to do anything it took to get her. Amanda called David and told him she would come over during the weekend. This made him happy. Finally, her death is so near, and she doesn't even realize it, he muttered. Amanda surprised David with a visit, as he didn't know the particular day she would come over during the weekend. She called him and asked him to pick her up at the park. David wasn't really happy, as he had many deliveries to make that day. He went to the park, picked her up, and then took her home. He provided her with some things to make her comfortable and asked her to feel at home. He explained that he had to go to work but would return the next morning, as he didn't expect her to visit that day. Amanda told him to go attend to his work, as she would manage on her own. David left for his work, leaving Amanda alone at home. While making herself comfortable by eating and drinking, Amanda heard some frightening noises outside the house at night. Summoning her courage, she went outside to investigate. She noticed the noise coming from the boys' quarters. Peeping through the door, she saw more than 50 women tied up inside, with blood everywhere. She thought of going back inside to get her phone and call the police but realized it would take time. She found a sharp object, broke into the room and opened the door. Inside, she saw many girls tied up and freshly harvested bodies on the floor. Frozen at the door, she felt disgusted by the scene. The place smelled foul, and there were human skulls everywhere. Amanda asked the girls why they were tied up. One of them explained that they had met David online. He had invited them over and offered them juice, which was drugged. After drinking, they would doze off, and when they woke up, they found themselves tied up here. David kills girls every day. We don't know when it will be our turn. Please help us, they pleaded. Amanda untied some of the girls, who then helped free the others. She went inside to get her phone and called the nearest police station. She informed them of the situation and provided the address. The police arrived immediately and rescued the girls, surrounding the premises. The next morning, David returned home, unaware of what had transpired. The police had asked Amanda to stay in the house to help gather evidence and possibly a confession from David. David entered the house, harboring dark thoughts about Amanda and intending to inflict a painful death on her. Seeing her sitting on the sofa, he greeted her warmly, acting as though nothing was amiss. David went into the kitchen, got a glass of juice, and offered it to her. Amanda declined, saying she wasn't thirsty. "Okay," David said coldly, "you won't need it anyway since you won't be alive for long." Confused, Amanda asked what he meant, but David laughed maniacally. "You stupid girl, you don't even realize what you've gotten yourself into. You won't be leaving this house alive." Amanda remained calm despite his threats. "I'm glad I paid you a surprise visit," she said. "There are lots of evidence and witnesses against you, and now an open confession." At that moment, the police emerged from hiding and handcuffed him. "Now who's the stupid one?" Amanda said, laughing out loud. "Wicked man, your sins have finally caught up with you." David was enraged, realizing Amanda had set him up. The police arrested him and expressed their gratitude to Amanda for helping to save the girls who had fallen prey to David's crimes. David confessed to his crimes and implicated others involved in the illegal business. They were all arrested and taken to court, where they received the death, 13-14, penalty by hanging. Justice was served. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the story. If so, please like the video, comment on what you have learned from the tale, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more captivating tales just like this one.